Hi and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this video I'm going to be looking into the question, what does your secret admirer find to be the most attractive things about you? There are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Sunshine Aura Quartz. Group 2 is the Aqua Aura Quartz. And group 3 is the Angel Aura Quartz. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to, I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead. And up next is a close-up photo of the crystals to help you better make your selection. Hi, Group 1. Chose the Sunshine Aura Quartz. So let's see, what qualities does your secret admirer like best about you? Okay, we have transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. So this may be somebody who has had their eye on you for quite some time. They've watched you go through some personal transformation, maybe something about your appearance that has changed that they are really liking. They're thinking that this new look is good on you, or a new state of mind, a new sort of focus or series of priorities that you've chosen to invest more of yourself into, that this is something that has yielded positive results in terms of your energy itself, your aura, maybe again like things that you're focusing on or prioritizing in your life that you may be sharing about on social media, or if this is somebody that kind of sees you out and about in the world and kind of what you're spending your time on, what you're focusing on, where you can be found or seen versus like not found and not seen anymore. Again, someone that might have been watching you for a while and has noted that you disconnected from certain things that were keeping you stuck in certain cycles, or were maybe bringing out the worst in you, or a sense of like you could have been doing better, or surrounding yourself with better people, using your time more wisely. And so efforts that you've made to kind of prioritize yourself, raise your standards, raise your vibration, this secret admirer has noticed that. And it's something that it feels like is making you even more attractive actually and energetically to this person. And it feels like whatever you've been investing in terms of like self-care, self-love, self-growth, self-improvement, things of that nature, even if this person doesn't directly know kind of what your practices are or what that all entails, it's a sense of they can sense a shift within you. They're understanding that you're pouring more of your energy into yourself rather than kind of expelling that to others or squandering that. Maybe you've closed off from like limited or one-sided relationships and it's had some sort of positive impact upon you. You're looking healthier, you're looking more radiant, there's a more optimism about you, your outlook on life, and that's translated energetically. And again, even in any kind of interactions that they have about you or things that they're able to observe you speaking of. But even if the details of the nature of that transformation or kind of a course correction are unknown to this person, they are nevertheless kind of understanding that you've made some kind of shift. You set up some sort of personal boundaries. You're prioritizing yourself now more than ever. And it feels it's making this person more curious and also, again, like more attracted to you, wanting to come in closer. If this is somebody that sensed you had a lot in common, or there was an essence of like wanting to become a part of your life, become more of a significant part of your life, or even kind of open up to the idea of romance, it feels that that is something that their desire for that has increased. You have only become more appealing to this person over time, or even recently, most specifically. And we also have Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yeah, so again, this may be somebody that's been watching you for a while, watching you on social media, or even just kind of as you're living your day-to-day reality. Any friends or friend groups that you've cut off or let go of, that you're not spending your time with anymore. This is something that maybe this secret admirer thought that these people were like a bad influence, or were kind of lowering your vibe, or just you could do better than sort of associating with certain individuals, or maybe even they witness these people kind of bringing out the worst in you, or certain things they may have known about these people that maybe you didn't know, or something they could just kind of sense energetically about these individuals, that they weren't the best people, they didn't have the best intentions, they were kind of low vibe, or pessimistic, or sort of toxic in and of themselves. It's a sense at any distance that you've created, even if you're walking a very solitary path, or you're just spending time with different kinds of people, you're surrounding yourself with healthier influences, or people that align with something very different than kind of like the company you were keeping before. This is something that the secret admirer recognizes and is seeing that it's taken a lot of courage. It's almost like you've listened to your higher self, you've made the right decision in a way, and it's making them want to like come in closer to your life, and also to bring you in to be a part of their life as well, because you don't have these sort of like toxic attachments in the form of other people that you might have in one point in time included as like your inner circle, or the people that had mattered to you more than they may at this particular point in time. It's a sense that you've chosen yourself over kind of loyalty just for the sake of it. And again, this is something that not even in terms of just people that you are surrounding yourself with, or, friend groups, different sorts of communities, different things that have to do with maybe like activities, belief systems, mindsets, different kind of practices, spiritual practices, things in a mundane sense, anything you've kind of cut out or evolved beyond. This person feels that you're in some way more aligned with like your true path, or like a higher calling, or if they're not aware of kind of what the specifics of what you've removed from your life, or you've sort of discontinued participating with, it again is it's evidenced in like your energy. You've clearly cut off things that were one-sided or draining, or just not a true kind of vibrational match. You've outgrown things, and you've stepped forward in your life, and this has had a very positive impact in terms of your personal magnetism, the way in which whatever you're surrounding yourself with now is having a much more healthy influence and impact upon you than whatever was kind of involved in your life previously. And we also have Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty, devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. So your secret admirer sees you as somebody who is very wise. The words that you speak carry weight. This is somebody that they have gained a lot of insight and knowledge. Maybe you've even kind of opened their mind to different sorts of perspectives, different views on kind of what it means to be self-loving, what it means to be unconditionally loving, even sort of starting with self first and then allowing that to radiate out, even in the form of like setting healthy boundaries in the interest of kind of the preservation of sort of the well-being of self first and foremost. All of this may be something that has kind of caused this secret admirer, it feels like, to even sort of look at the people that they have in their life, the surroundings that are kind of influencing them and impacting them. You may have really empowered this secret admirer to start to set boundaries, or cut certain individuals out of their life to start to evaluate and assess like their belief systems, or certain practices, certain things that they were involved in, and to choose better for themselves, because you've kind of led the way in some sort of sense, that even instinctually for this person, if they're not kind of aware of the specifics of the change that you've gone through, there's a sense that you listened to some sort of instinct within you that said there should be something more, or that something was kind of off in your situation, or in the energies that were you were participating with in some way. And you've made the bold move to kind of prioritize yourself, and it's worked out very effectively. It worked out to your advantage. And so this is almost something it feels like that has awakened the secret admirer's instinct to also sort of vet out the situations in their life that at one point in time might have served some kind of purpose, or may have even been like karmic cycles representative of lessons. And there's a sense that because of kind of you and a shift that you've made, it's encouraging this individual to become very proactive about themselves, about their life, about really kind of digging in deep and saying what is really serving me versus what is just kind of a habitual circumstance or a habitual relationship that I keep participating with, even though it doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't serve my higher needs or my higher self. That it's something that only kind of lowers my vibration, or I have to sort of dim my light in order to be able to accommodate certain influences or individuals. So there's a sense of like your own kind of personal journey towards creating maybe wellness for yourself in an all-encompassing manner. Whatever you've done within that's created this like glow up, that the secret admirer is seeing you're radiant, you're glowing, you look healthy, and it's a health that has developed from the inside out. And this is something that it feels like is very much encouraging this person to again start to kind of look deeply within at things that they had maybe taken for granted or overlooked in the past or up to this point in time, that might have been almost kind of limiting them or dragging them down, or kind of just keeping them at a distance from being excited about their life, feeling really good, looking good and feeling good, because they're only kind of participating with things, circumstances, people, energies, ideas, practices that feed and nourish and uplift, rather than kind of drag them down or make them very uncertain and unsure. We also have Marguerite Porret, the mystic of divine love. Love is divine, and I am nothing except love. So the secret admirer sees you as somebody very compassionate, somebody who is a very patient individual, somebody who leads from the heart space. Even if you've had to exercise tough love with individuals, or if you've dealt with the secret admirer directly and you've had to utilize some tough love with them, there's a sense that they really respect that. Any boundaries that you've had to put up with this individual, or that they've seen that you've put up with others, it's not come from a place of feeling that you're better than anyone else, or being mean or judgmental. It's almost just the sense of you're somebody that really knows yourself. You know kind of your own energy, and you're somebody who prioritizes peace. You understand that kind of your life, your world cannot be peaceful if you are not cultivating and making that absolutely necessary and kind of non-negotiable as sort of the status within yourself first and foremost. And so any cutoffs that have had to happen as far as people are concerned, or things that you were involved with, there's a sense that the secret admirer senses or is directly aware that you did it in a very diplomatic fashion, rather than being catty or mean or negative or low vibrational. It's almost like you just removed yourself from the situation. You just simply stepped beyond the circumstance, leaving another person's kind of dignity intact, or just not participating in drama, kind of removing yourself from situations that upset that flow of peace and abundance within yourself. And so they're seeing this as something that's a very attractive quality about you. It maybe stands out compared to other people they were dealing with, or even circumstances that you were dealing with, the types of people that you were dealing with, that this secret admirer might have thought you would have been justified in giving these people a piece of your mind, or telling them off, or having some kind of dramatic show of discontinuation of the circumstance. And instead you chose the high road, you chose the path of peace within yourself, and so that makes you the bigger person in the situation, which it feels like the secret admirer really admires, that your kind of tactics or strategies when dealing with people that may be operating in a lower vibration, or have a lot of unprocessed toxicity, or just kind of projecting hurt out into the world. However it is that you navigate with these people in general, or specific people that you've been dealing with in the past, you do so in a way that you're an ambassador of love. You're somebody that demonstrates it's okay to have healthy boundaries and set those up and still be very much a loving person, very much an understanding person, but knowing where to kind of draw the line as far as what you will tolerate. And so it feels like this is something that is drawing this secret admirer towards you as somebody that they feel would be a good addition to their life, or somebody that they want to kind of create more of a relationship with you in some sort of way, because they see you as a very fair and balanced person. You listen to your heart first and foremost versus kind of distractions or noise around you. And we also have Inanna, Queen of Heaven and Earth. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. So your secret admirer sees you as somebody very authentic. You know yourself. You've been on a voyage or a journey to discover who you truly are, aside from and beyond kind of the illusions or the projections, the opinions of other people. You're comfortable in your skin. You're able to kind of accept sort of all versions of yourself and move through those on an ever-changing basis in a way that is very unapologetic. So there's a boldness with this, even kind of a quiet strength or a certainty that this secret admirer has witnessed, observed, experienced directly from you that is very appealing. Almost like in a world of masks, you are somebody who is very genuine. They see you as somebody very rare, and there's also a lot of respect and admiration, it feels like, because there's a sense with this person, and maybe it's the fact that they've been watching you for a while, they've been your secret admirer for a while, they've witnessed that you had to become this version of yourself. This wasn't just innate. You didn't just start off in your kind of journey or experience being this self-aware or this self-assured. And so this is almost somebody that has watched you build your confidence, maybe by kind of removing things from your life that would cause you to doubt or question that. And so there's a lot of respect and admiration, and they're very attracted to like this version of you, the authentic self. Exactly who you are in this moment is very ideal in this person's eyes. And we also have Teresa of Avila, Our Lady of the Interior Life. I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the presence of love is real. So your secret admirer sees you as somebody very intuitive, somebody who keeps their own counsel, somebody who is not prone to gossip or swayed by the opinions of others or even society in general. You're an independent person, you're an authentic person, you are who you say you are. What you present is the genuine article, and it feels like this is a very reassuring and almost, you make your secret admirer feel very safe or very encouraged to be themselves. So this definitely could be somebody that doesn't just want to sit on the sidelines of your life and kind of observe. This person may be gearing up to make a move towards you, romantically speaking, because there's a sense of almost like, I want to join this very real version of you with a very real version of myself and experience a different type of romance or the potential for romance than what I've ever known before, because it's a sense of almost this person watching you kind of build yourself into this present version of you, maybe kind of rebuilding after some tower moments, or, kind of choosing to sort of step away from the inauthentic life and kind of move into a place of sovereignty within yourself and living very unapologetically. So you really have caught this person's eye. It feels like they've been watching you for a while, and they are most likely gearing up to present themselves or to try to make themselves kind of an addition to your life, or create some kind of closeness or intimacy between the two of you, romantically, or maybe even kind of starting off as friends and then developing from there. So let's get some message cards from this person's higher self and see what they want to tell you right now. And they say, I'm so in love with you. You are so perfect to me. So you are this person's ideal individual. It feels like if they've been watching for a while, they were attracted to you before, but now you've kind of exceeded their expectations of who they thought that you were, who they thought you might develop into, what it is that they were even kind of looking for or wanting. There's a sense that you fulfill requirements that they didn't even know that they had. And so if there was desire before, it's almost insatiable at this particular point in time. They also say, I want to be strong like you. So there's that confirmation of someone who's very inspired by you, by your living example, by the changes that you've gone through or that you've compelled in your life. You sort of forced change to happen, sort of the energy of enough is enough. And you've kind of willed yourself to come out of your shell or go through some kind of transformative process, which it feels like is helping the secret admirer to become very brave in their own life, to speak up or set boundaries where they may need to, or even kind of present themselves, romantically speaking, with you, kind of working up the courage to profess those feelings and see where things go. And they also say, I don't know how, but you got to my heart. So it feels like this person has caught deep feelings for you. These feelings continue to intensify the longer that they sort of watch you and observe you. You may be someone who's gone through many different transformations, many different versions of yourself since you first caught the secret admirer's eyes. This could be like a long-term admirer. And it's almost like it's getting to the point where they don't want to wait any longer. They want to join the party of your life and kind of experience what it would be like to be in a romantic connection with somebody who is so brave in the face of change, whereas most people kind of shrink away from that or cling to routine and sort of what's safe and familiar and known. It feels like they see you as somebody who you listen to that higher self. You're very trusting in kind of different pathways leading to sort of a destined life or a higher type of life, and you are willing to do whatever it takes in order to become the version of yourself that is equipped to kind of move through different sort of chapters and eras of your life. And so it feels like this is something where the secret admirer sees that you are the type of person that they would want by their side. You're somebody who would be there through thick and thin. You'd be there in the good times and the bad because you've been there for yourself during these things. And they also say, I'm working hard on myself. So there's that confirmation of somebody who may be in the process of kind of willing change to happen in their life, coming out of their shell a little bit more, or setting boundaries with people or circumstances, shedding a version of themselves that they feel does not align with either who you are, where that forward-facing direction seems to be taking you, or that you are kind of aiming towards in your life. This is somebody who wants to come to you, it feels like, in a very empowered energy. So they're taking ownership of situations, mindsets, relationships, influences that are kind of holding them back from feeling their best, or feeling that looking towards that idea of a perpetual evolution into many different better or best versions of self, that's possible, that's encouraged. Like anything that sort of stands in the way of that or blocks that off, it feels like it's this person's in the process of actively kind of creating distance or cutting those things out of their life so that there's room for them to grow as an individual, and also in terms of whatever might develop between the two of you, if they are able to step forward and offer something emotionally speaking, and you both resonate, you're both on the same page with one another, and something evolves romantically. So let's get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. You've got I, U, C, H, S, V, S, A, M, W, T, E, U, G, P, V, and D. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. It shows the Aqua Aura Quartz. So let's see, what does your secret admirer find to be the most attractive or appealing things about you? Okay, we have Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? So your secret admirer sees you as somebody who is very empathetic, very nurturing, someone who makes other people feel comfortable or safe in your presence. You may be a very compassionate person. You may work with outreach with people or counseling, comforting people, sharing kind of words of encouragement or wisdom, either directly with this person, or maybe this is something that you are involved with professionally or even on kind of like a volunteer basis. And it's this compassion within you that really draws this secret admirer to you. They see you as somebody who has a very good heart. You've got a very big heart. And there's a sense that you bring people peace in their hour of need. You're able to really help de-escalate sort of worry or, the idea of kind of like strife. You may be a really good problem solver or someone who's a really good mediator, and that this is something that the secret admirer has either directly benefited from or has seen you in action in some sort of way. And it feels like from the heart space level, they're very drawn to you. They see you as a really good person, somebody who endeavors to kind of leave the world around you a better place than you found it. They see you as somebody who also knows how to kind of keep your energy like enough in reserve so that you're meeting your own energetic and emotional needs. This can be something where they may have almost witnessed people like drawn to your energy or trying to cling to your energy. You may at one point in time have been kind of a people pleaser or an overgiver, but they're seeing that they've either witnessed kind of you creating boundaries or learning to sort of neutralize an urge within you to kind of overgive, or feeling kind of the sorrow within other people and wanting to help, wanting to nurture, wanting to heal. And in some way that might have been very draining or depleting, or maybe you attracted a lot of takers into your life, people that were just kind of there for their own benefit or for their own advantage, but weren't really giving reciprocally to you as well. And then in some sort of way, you've come to understand that as kind of a vulnerability or sort of one of the downsides of maybe being an empath or having a lot of empathy within you. And so you've kind of chosen the most self-loving path of learning when to say like enough is enough, or not overcommitting yourself, not overgiving of yourself, so that you have enough energy and enough kind of time and resources to sort of invest in you, your self-care, your wellness, kind of giving to yourself in order to be able to give to other people. If the secret admirer hasn't witnessed that sort of change within you, and they've only sort of maybe discovered you at this boundaried up version of yourself, there's a sense that They may also be a very empathetic person who has maybe struggled with some of those aspects of being a people pleaser, being an overgiver, being taken advantage of by other people, kind of kindness taken for weakness, or other people just sort of self-serving, kind of taking of their energy or their time, or their interest in kind of helping and wanting to heal and wanting to uplift and wanting to give. And this may be something with the secret admirer that they've had to learn to kind of set those boundaries, sort of counteract that instinct within them to want to help, to want to heal, to want to give, in order to ensure that it's quality assistance that they're giving, rather than kind of just the quantity of anybody in their hour of need is immediately entitled to kind of receive everything that they are capable of giving, or everything that person kind of wants to take. So there's a sense that the secret admirer almost sees like a kindred spirit energy within you, or something where they can assume, infer, or they've witnessed directly that you may have each had to go through like a similar process of sort of learning how to establish healthy boundaries and sort of counteract your own innate nature, just for your own kind of well-being, for your own sort of energetic wellness, but that it's done in a loving way, rather than in a harsh and uncaring way. It's almost the sense of, they see you as somebody who recognizes you need to have your own emotional needs or your own energetic needs met, in the same way that you are willing to kind of and able to meet the energetic and emotional needs of other people as well. And we have awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So it feels like this secret admirer may be somebody who is spiritually awakened, spiritually aware. They may be focused on like a spiritual life or a spiritual path. And they see you as somebody who is, again, like kindred spirit energy, sort of like-minded. A lot of the things that you talk about or focus on, maybe of that sort of uplifting variety or vibration. There's a sense that the secret admirer is drawn to maybe things that you've expressed interest in, things that you are focused on, viewpoints and perspectives that they know about of yours. And there's a sense that they feel that you'd be someone they could really have interesting conversations with, or share a lot of information with, that you're somebody that would really hold space, even from a place of compassion or empathy about things that they may struggle themselves to kind of find like-minded individuals or people who understand what it is that they're talking about, what the priorities are. But there's a sense of almost kind of maybe feeling that the two of you have sort of been brought into one another's lives. So it feels likely you may know who this secret admirer is, not necessarily that they have, these feelings for you, this like sense of admiration, but it feels like you're at least aware of who this person is. But there's a sense of almost that this person feels that to have more one-on-one conversations with you, more one-on-one interactions, private time spent with you, that it would be a very transcendent experience, compared to like other people that they've had romantic connections with, people that could only kind of meet them in the shallows. And there's a sense that you operate in the depths, and this is something that's very refreshing to this person. It's very appealing to this person. There's a sense of seeing you as on their wavelength in some sort of way, or open-minded enough that if information or energies or experiences that they were to tell you about or bring to your attention, you wouldn't just automatically dismiss them or close off to them or have no clue what it is that they're talking about. There's a sense of that the two of you would speak the same language or a similar language, in terms of like those spiritual ideas, or just kind of a sense of wanting to make the world a better place than the world you were born into, or than you've experienced it as, or the impact you were making on the world around you in kind of earlier chapters of your life. That this secret admirer sees kind of a like-minded individual, kindred spirit, kindred soul. They're seeing you as a very evolved person. So maybe they've witnessed some kind of evolution within you, or they've just come upon you at this time where you've gone through that transformation, gone through that evolution, and here is someone that's operating at that same plane, at that same vibration. There's a sense that the secret admirer feels they wouldn't need to hide anything. They wouldn't need to kind of like water down or watch what they say around you. You'd understand what they were talking about, or you'd be able to hold space to kind of learn from this individual, unlike other people that they may have experienced in their life or have in their life currently that it feels like they just can't connect with other than sort of like surface level chit chat. And we also have Mintalkin, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. So it feels like this secret admirer senses a past life connection with you. There may have been a sense of familiarity the moment that they met you or that they first encountered you that was like, I know you from somewhere. And it feels that that has only kind of intensified with time. It feels like there could be things that you say or that you express that really echo or mirror beliefs that this person has within themselves, or things that they've almost been kind of like thinking about in relation to you, and then you articulate that in some sort of way. And it's provided a lot of confirmations for this individual of this connection, this bond. There's more than meets the eye. It goes just beyond the surface of kind of like, oh, we have things in common, or I find this person attractive. There's a sense that this person's soul is very magnetized towards you as like soul family, kindred spirit, past life soulmate energy. There's a sense that the secret admirer is very drawn to that because they might have never experienced such a phenomenon with anyone before on as deep a level as they do with you. They may have had dreams or visions, or maybe they've done like past life meditations, journey work, and have kind of encountered you energetically speaking. Maybe even like prior to meeting you, they were sort of familiar with you as an energy, or the idea of somewhere along their journey they would meet that person or someone that kind of connected with some aspect of their past life, or things that they just sort of were drawn toward or knew at a soul level, and then they've encountered you, and it's like all the pieces are starting to fit together. Things are starting to click for them in a way that prior to kind of encountering you, they hadn't. There's a sense that the secret admirer sees you as someone that could help them also unpack a lot of the mystery of kind of things that have maybe been swimming around in their subconscious or in kind of their higher self, maybe even things in the dream space. So this person could be very intuitive and at the least is had some kind of an awakening, is on some kind of an ascension path where they're attracted to the fact that they see or sense you as like a safe person, where they could explore this aspect of who they are, or this experience, or this quality on them that's kind of coming on board, or has always kind of been a part of them, but they've never really had anyone to share that with. And there's a sense of seeing or perceiving you as somebody that even like actually and romantically, the two of you could really grow with one another. It could be a connection that nurtures, where two people like nurture each other on not just a deep emotional level, but on a deep spiritual level as well. There's a safety that they feel with you. Like you represent home from another lifetime, home at a soul level. Home as like an origin point almost. So it feels like this person they're very drawn to you almost for reasons that they can't explain. It goes far beyond just the surface, although the personality that you manifest on the surface level, or the way in which you're living your life currently in material reality, and even it feels like over the course of however long this person has known you and kind of been in this secret admirer energy, it resonates with a lot of things that they are wanting to dive into, that they are in the process of kind of cultivating or wanting to make more of a dominant part of their reality, to where there's a sense of almost like destiny has brought us to this place where we are now in one another's orbit, or I have this opportunity to kind of create something more in this situation, or maybe you're the one that's approached this person with kind of an offer, for something more, and they've just been sitting in kind of a secret admirer energy. So either way, whatever the dynamic is, there's almost a sense of being very attracted and very drawn to and very curious about the fact that you seem to align with some kind of higher purpose. Like it's not just an arbitrary meeting. It's not just an arbitrary crossing of paths. You're not just somebody who will be kind of a footnote in their story, or like a seasonal individual. There's a sense of like they couldn't forget you if they tried, or that you're significant in some way for where they're at in their life now and kind of where they're being sort of called to direct their focus moving forward. And we also have Rabai, Queen of Saintly Women. I am in service to divine love. I move the way love asks me to move. So this is more of that energy of seeing you as somebody who is very purpose driven. You've answered some kind of call from your higher self. You're in alignment as far as this secret admirer can tell, with sort of a greater experience in life than is kind of manifested for you at this point. No matter what's going on in your life right now, or whatever you're focused on, kind of the fullness of your life, or ways in which you are trying to cultivate more of that prosperity and abundance, there's a sense that the secret admirer sees you're destined for so much more, or they can almost just sense that the level of kind of like light and healing that you emit, the ways in which you maybe change the lives of people around you, you endeavor to kind of make the world a better place, or kind of leave a positive imprint upon the lives of those you encounter, or, help and sort of heal where you can. There's a sense that you're very favored by the universe. You're somebody that kind of, you're able to sort of move with dexterity in accordance to that higher calling, because you're not motivated by self-serving kind of intentions. You have some kind of intention to serve, and it comes from a very authentic place inside. And it feels that is very endearing to this secret admirer. It's something that they really value, that they feel is a rare quality to find. Like, they may have encountered a lot of people that sort of claim to want to help other people or be in service to the collective, or whatever that looks like, but that a lot of these individuals are just sort of feeding their ego, or they're like virtue signaling, or, there's very kind of just self-serving and almost like materialistic motives behind that, that have either become apparent, or that this person just sort of senses like the vibe is off. It's inauthentic. It's not in the right tune and frequency for somebody that truly is of service, like trying to be of service and actually is of service. So there's a sense that this secret admirer is drawn to you because there's almost, there's a sense that you answer to a higher authority, or you're almost kind of like divinely guided. Your path is very divinely orchestrated, and it feels that you may have awakened something within this person as well, to where their higher self and their spirit guides are kind of like nudging them to sort of move forward towards you. Because to align with you romantically, or be more a part of your life in some sort of way, it furthers kind of their calling in this lifetime. It furthers in some sort of way a purpose for them being incarnated in the here and now. So they find it very attractive that it's almost like, okay, here's somebody else. I'm not just walking this path alone. Here's somebody else that, energetically speaking, I feel is kind of a key person, a key individual, a key consciousness that sort of creates more of a state of wholeness in what I might have been endeavoring in my own life single-handedly. Now here's somebody else to kind of walk that path with me, or that is conjoined with that path. They also, it feels like, are very attracted to your level of self-respect, that you may be very giving and very nurturing, but you don't spread yourself thin. You're not easily accessible to other people. You have healthy boundaries in place. You may be a very private person, a very mysterious person, and yet a very giving and loving and authentic individual. But you've learned how to kind of keep elements of yourself just for you. People have to essentially kind of earn the privilege or right to kind of have access to more of the deeper layers of who you are as an individual, to where this really motivates this secret admirer to put in the work and invest the time to almost like earning a place of closeness within your life, knowing that it's not just given away very easily, but it's something where you hold yourself to a high standard, and therefore other people that have the privilege of spending time in your company must also bring forth that kind of higher level of integrity, or work within themselves, or be very kind of like-minded in terms of a certain frequency, a certain vibration, a certain series of priorities in life. We also have Saint Bridget, Our Lady of Exalted Light. I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. So this secret admirer sees you as like a way shower. You've alchemized a lot of pain into wisdom within yourself, and maybe you share that with other people. You kind of bring that forth. You're sharing your testimony, you're sharing your story, or just you're the living example of kind of change and transmutation of dark or kind of negative circumstances into something positive and uplifting. And so it feels like it's very inspiring to this secret admirer to start to shift the way they or maybe have looked at obstacles in their own life, or aspects of their backstory that are not the easiest to kind of deal with, that they've been uncomfortable sort of unpacking or processing in a way. And there's a sense of feeling that with you, it's safe to go in and do some of that shadow work, or some of that kind of deep soul alchemy within self. Seeing you as somebody that would be a very good resource, or somebody that would have a lot of wisdom to impart as far as what that process could look like for other people. Maybe you're already doing that, or there's a sense that for them on their own personal journey, there's a lot to be gained, but there's also, it feels like they're attracted to you because there's an urge to kind of walk with you, or be some kind of companion with you through whatever kind of heaviness or darkness you move through in your own life. There's a sense that they almost kind of see you as somebody who gives a lot to other people, but you might not have a lot of people that give a lot in return to you. And so it almost, this secret admirer, it feels like, has some kind of protective instinct. There's a desire to kind of pour into you the same way in which they have watched you very selflessly give to others, to make sure that you feel nurtured in the same way that you have kind of made it your mission, or you've answered some kind of higher calling in order to kind of give and nurture and be there for people who are struggling, or who are in kind of a place of need. There's a sense too that your joy is something which is very contagious. The secret admirer is very drawn to that. Your light, there's a sense that your smile lights up a room, or your laughter is almost, it's like music. Something about the way your face might light up when you are happy or when you're excited about something. All of that, it's almost like living sunshine or living moonlight, that it draws this secret admirer in kind of all aspects of you on various vibrational planes of existence. It links in very intimately with sort of what they would consider to be a truly high vibrational person, in the sense that you're balanced because you also take time to tend kind of those lower vibrations within self, rather than just leaning into a place of like toxic positivity or spiritual bypassing. They're seeing you as somebody who's very balanced. You tend to your shadow as much as you are tending to your light, and in this way you truly have something beneficial to offer to others. Your radiance is something that comes from a very pure place, because whatever it is that you sort of do to tend to both faces of yourself, it's done in a very compassionate and loving manner. So they're drawn to you as kind of an authentic light, where they may have encountered a lot of people that were sort of a false light, the good vibes only type people who avoid shadow work at all costs. So definitely somebody who could be on like a spiritual path and has had to vet out and kind of weed their way through individuals that just maybe have presented kind of this positive, happy, everything's great kind of image, all smiles and only think good thoughts, but have not really dealt with kind of core wounding or shadow work within self. And so you're almost You're a breath of fresh air, because maybe you do focus a lot on that shadow work, helping other people to kind of work through that. Or it's evident that you do that work within yourself, that you are the genuine article. You are who you profess yourself to be, as far as like an uplifting sort of presence within the collective or within the lives of the people you touch, because you've taken the time and you continue to take the time to sort of tend to those elements within self, those wounds and those shadows, in order to bring forth the clearest view of light for others. And we also have Saraswati, the goddess of self-knowledge. The essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. So the secret admirer sees you as a very creative person, or they're very much drawn to that. Whatever it is that you do as far as like artistry or your craft is concerned, maybe whatever it is you do for work, or you do on like a volunteer basis. If you work sort of like a mundane job, but you may have other sort of interests or hobbies, that might be where this secret admirer has kind of encountered you. Even the way you just sort of put yourself together, the way you dress, the way you do your hair, the way you do your makeup, the way you present yourself, the way you speak your thoughts, or kind of keep your thoughts to yourself, even just how you kind of move through the world. All of it feels like is something that the secret admirer views you as almost like a living art. You yourself are a work of art, and the effort that you invest to kind of cultivate that, to fine tune that, to deal with the shadows as well as kind of the virtues and the light and the positive aspects of self. All of this is something which really it's captivated this secret admirer, and there's a sense that they've never met anyone like you. They've never met anyone that doesn't just say they're living their best life or that they're in love with their life, but you truly are the embodiment of like love in terms of action. The ways in which you kind of prioritize yourself and you're giving back to others, it's almost that fluidity, that perfect balance of giving and receiving, which it feels like is something that they find very endearing and very glorious about you. So let's get some message cards and see what this person wants you to know from their higher self. Okay, and they say, I'm done pretending. So this secret admirer, it feels like, does not just want to be an observer in your life forever. They're wanting to present themselves as like an option, romantically speaking, or to get to know you better. There's a sense that you encourage them to kind of express more of the fullness of who they are, which they might not have ever experienced that or had the opportunity for that in romance before. And so there's a sense of feeling that the idea of being in a loving relationship with you, that it could be very healing and also the greatest adventure that they've ever had. They also say your laugh is amazing. So there's more of that confirmation that this person is really attracted to your joy and to your happiness. They want to make you smile. They want to make you laugh. It feels like your laughter or just kind of the radiance of your energy when you are excited about things, when you're impassioned about things, when you're in your flow, when you're in your vibe. All of this is something which may provide a very like healing or uplifting quality to this secret admirer, and they want to see more of that. They want to experience more of that very directly. They also say, I have trouble expressing myself. So they may be very nervous and intimidated at the idea of kind of presenting themselves emotionally. There's a fear of rejection. There's a sense that they may almost be putting you on a little bit of a pedestal to some extent, almost like, okay, this person doesn't just resonate with me in terms of like I'm physically attracted to them or, I've caught feelings, but it's like at a soul level, they're deeply compelled to you. And so the idea of that, something where walking through that door of love with you, it would be an experience that they've never had before with another person. You check off a lot of the boxes materially speaking, but then it's something where you almost fit certain components that they might have thought, well, that's not real. No one can really have that in a material sense. That's just kind of the stuff of fantasy or fairy tales, and yet whatever they're feeling or sensing in terms of this kind of conjunction between the two of you. It's almost like the fairy tale come to life. Here's the opportunity for that storybook romance. Like on all levels, they are sensing compatibility with you. And so the idea of that, like how to articulate that, how to kind of move the situation beyond whatever it is currently into something more. There's a level of importance that they're putting upon that, because there's a sense of, I want to experience something more with you, but I don't want to come off in the wrong way and get rejected, or you misunderstand my intentions, or it's just not approached in the right manner. And they also say the thought of you makes me smile inside. So there's more of that energy of joy. The secret admirer feels very happy, very fulfilled, very at peace at the idea of a romantic relationship with you. They may spend a lot of time fantasizing about that, kind of actively manifesting, maybe very consciously, the opportunity to approach you directly, face to face, or even kind of working up the courage to speak to you online, even to kind of open up those lines of communication between you, so that there can be the beginning stages of an exploration of if this sort of draw, if this sort of resonance that they feel to you, if this is something that could actually manifest into a satisfying partnership for the two of you in a material sense. So I'm going to get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got V, G, P, W, S, N, J, C, F, N, S, T, D, I, E, and B. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. It shows the Angel Aura Quartz. So let's see, what does your secret admirer like best about you? Okay, we have Inner Temple, Devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. So your secret admirer may see you as somebody very loyal and very dedicated. They've witnessed in some way that you have helped out other people. You're very committed to certain belief systems, certain practices, a certain calling that you've answered, things that you're working towards professionally or personally. They're seeing you as somebody very goal-oriented, a hard worker with a good work ethic. And it feels like this is something that makes them envision that partnering up with you would be a sound financial decision, that you're somebody that's very grounded, very practical, very stable, very much able to kind of manage your time or cut out distractions, or that you've cultivated some very effective work-life balance. You work hard and you play hard, and you're somebody that kind of savors everything that life has to give and offer. And so it feels that this aligns very much with what this secret admirer sort of is needing, is looking for in terms of romantic prospects, or again, like a prospective partnership. It may be something where the secret admirer almost wants to align with you in some kind of professional or business capacity, but then there's a sense of almost like, we could work together on something, but then there's this possibility for romance. Seeing that the two of you might have the makings of like a power couple, or that if you combined forces or combined your resources, you would both be able to kind of reach certain goals or support one another to the reaching of those goals or the working towards those goals in a very effective manner. It feels like whatever this person has kind of witnessed about you, so maybe this is somebody that's like a coworker, so they've seen you in action at work, or somebody that just kind of is in some way aware of things that you're doing professionally, or that you're working toward personally in your life, maybe even goals or kind of like resolutions that you've set for yourself, and you've followed through on that. You've kept your promises, you've honored these commitments in a variety of ways that draws them to you. It feels like their logical mind is giving them the green light on the idea of advancing towards you, maybe with some kind of business opportunity or offer, or the sense of kind of like maybe feeling that the idea of a romance with you, they wouldn't have to decide between prioritizing their career or financial kind of needs or goals that they have with sort of, a dynamic, romantically speaking, either because you could work as a team, you could work as a partnership, or in some way your life is geared towards, or you're of the mindset where you would understand kind of their need to prioritize certain goals, or certain kind of things that they're working towards, materially speaking. That you wouldn't feel that it's competition, but that you're someone that could actually really be like a supportive person, offer a lot of encouragement, or even a lot of understanding about kind of their need to take time to invest in something that it is they're working towards, because they've witnessed in some way perhaps, or are seeing kind of the living results of you having manifested some kind of dream into reality, or actively working towards that in your life, and the ways in which you sort of take care of what you need to take care of in terms of, business, and kind of carving out time, that are prioritizing time for your own kind of well-being, your own sort of enjoyment of life, or living kind of in a very well-balanced or well-rounded way that is really helping to kind of further the success of your goals, or bring those manifestations into reality, which it feels like fills them with a lot of pride in your accomplishments. So maybe they met you, or they saw you at kind of the beginning stages, or while something was just kind of a pipe dream, and you've managed to bring that into a place of reality, or it's kind of developing and growing into becoming something very realistic, not just something that you talk about or like wishful thinking, but you're actually doing it. And it feels like something that the secret admirer is very proud of what you've accomplished, or who you've become, in order to facilitate those dreams manifesting through you. And so it's encouraging them to kind of, it feels like, step forth to you and offer some guidance, offer some assistance, collaborate with you in some way, but also the sense of like, you'd make that perfect romantic partner that would help them in their own endeavors as well, that would really be that supportive person to have in their corner as they're trying to manifest dreams into reality. And we also have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plans. So there's more of that energy of manifestation. You're somebody who follows through on promises that you make. You honor your commitments, and they see you as somebody who's there to help others in their time of need. You may be somebody who offers resources or advice, shoulder to cry on, or gets in and lends a helping hand during tough times. You're that person that people can call on when the storms occur, or when there's kind of, everybody else has kind of left the scene because it's tough times. You're that person that will stay till the end. You're that person that will sort of stand up and stand beside somebody who is maybe going through difficulties, or in their darkest hour. You're kind of that lantern or that lighthouse in the dark. Maybe the secret admirer has directly experienced that or benefited from that, or has witnessed you kind of performing that function for others, not in a way that feeds your ego, but because it's just in your nature to be of service to the people that matter to you or the things that matter to you. That when you commit to something, you're all in. You don't just go in halfway, but you really invest yourself. You immerse yourself totally in seeing things through to a place of completion, which it feels like is very reassuring for this secret admirer, that the idea of starting a romantic relationship with you, you're somebody who would be with them in times of trouble. You'd be with them when they were successful. You'd be with them if there were things that happened and that success were diminished in some sort of way. You'd be that person that would really help to kind of support this person or encourage this person to fight through any sort of obstacles that might diminish or kind of put stress upon their prosperity or even like an abundance mindset. You're somebody that really helps to uplift and inspire others, or you've uplifted and inspired this secret admirer specifically, to where it's almost like they could see themselves making it through tough times, or having somebody in their corner during tough times, because you've proven to be that already, or you've been that for other people, or you've really been that person for yourself even. And so it's very encouraging for this secret admirer that like somebody like you is the type of person you want on your team. You want this person fighting beside you, not kind of fighting against or overlooking or discarding, because you're somebody that has a lot to offer. You've got a lot of practical knowledge, you've got a lot of skills to offer. You're somebody that's a very solid person in terms of your character. You mean what you say, you are who you present yourself to be. There's a level of honesty and dedication about you that aligns very much, it feels like, with where the secret admirer is envisioning in a practical sense that their life will unfold into in kind of the years and decades to come. And we also have soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So there is, again, more of that energy of really attracted to and admiring the fact that you are there for others in their time of need. Maybe you work in a helping profession. You help people get back on their feet, or you hold their hand while they are in a process of kind of gaining perspective for themselves and kind of lifting up out of darkness, resurrecting out of kind of the ashes of their life, or picking up the pieces in the aftermath of tower moments. That might be something that you're trying to build or cultivate, is maybe like a business related to that, or some kind of passion project that sort of gives back, empowers, inspires others. Whatever it is that you're working on, or even just something that, again, is with like maybe friends and family, or even if this is like maybe somebody from the workspace, how they've seen that you pitch in and help without needing to be asked. You're willing to kind of take on that extra workload to sort of help out the greater good, to keep things afloat, rather than sort of, saying that it's outside of my pay grade, or it's not my department, not my responsibility. It's a sense of you'll get in and help where you can, because you understand kind of, the chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And so you do what you can, where you can, to kind of help others to sort of compensate for those weaknesses, or to keep things afloat, even in those kind of points of deficiency, which it feels like, if the secret admirer has benefited directly from that, there's like a debt of gratitude that they have to you on a personal level that draws them in very close. But again, it's something that a person like you in a romantic partnership, they may have experienced people in their past that sort of left them high and dry when the chips were down, that were only sort of there like fair weather friends, or even romantic partners that were with this person when times were good. But when, sort of times of trouble came around, then the romantic partner was out the door, or discarded this individual. And so that could be like a wound within that might have made them skeptical and kind of guarded about letting other people in. This person could be fiercely independent, or maybe was very pessimistic as far as love, or very cautious and kind of vetting out sort of people that they would let in, romantically speaking. But they're seeing you as somebody very trustworthy, somebody that would not just value this individual for kind of what they have or what they can give, wouldn't only be there in kind of to enjoy the fringe benefits of being associated with this person. So this secret admirer could be wealthy, could be affluent, could be successful, could have built something for themselves, or is trying to build something for themselves. And there's a sense that they may have drawn in a lot of like gold diggers, a lot of takers, a lot of people that just saw this person as a meal ticket, or saw what this person was working with, or what they were working towards, and just wanted some kind of financial benefit, wanted sort of the notoriety of being associated with this individual, didn't really value them for who they are as a person, and again, weren't really there during times of trouble. But with you, there's almost a sense of kind of like you'd be with them through thick and thin. You're not the kind of person that would just do that to other people. Maybe that's kind of been tested, or they've witnessed that, where you've been with people both in the good times and the bad. And so there's a sense of also that whatever you have going on in your own life, or whatever you're working toward, you're not dependent on other people for that fulfillment. Like, you're able to take care of your own needs. You're very sovereign. You're very independent. You're very independently minded. You're not easily swayed or manipulated by others. They see you as somebody who doesn't manipulate or try to sway other people through manipulation tactics. And so this is almost a breath of fresh air, it feels like, for the secret admirer, that you're a very down-to-earth, grounded, and trustworthy individual, that it feels like draws them to you. Like, there's feelings here, but for this person, it feels like logic sort of dominates at this point. So they may have really had costly experiences financially, emotionally, actually, in terms of like other people that they were associated with romantically. But with you, it's almost like, I could see myself taking a chance on love, because you're not that kind of person, or you have more going on in your life than just kind of piggybacking off of another person's success in order to kind of raise one's own kind of star up to a higher level. And we have Mirabai, the saint of true freedom. Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. So the secret admirer is very attracted to your independence, your sovereignty, maybe the life that you've cultivated for yourself, where you don't have anybody that you answer to. You seem to be very well situated within kind of like your career or your profession, even if you're working on things to change things in terms of the career or profession. There's a sense of you make steady progress forward. You're not somebody who gets easily kind of discouraged by obstacles, or the idea of like long-term goals and plans that take time to develop and build, which again kind of gives this person reassurance that you're somebody who can invest in things for the long haul. They've witnessed in some way, or are aware of processes that you've been involved in, or things that you kind of manifested or are in the process of manifesting, that don't just happen overnight. They're attracted to the fact that you're not someone who seeks immediate gratification, but you understand good things happen to those who wait, but you don't just sit there passively waiting for sort of fortune to fall in your lap, that you're somebody that kind of, you meet the universe halfway or more than halfway in terms of those co-creative energies, which it feels like it brings a lot of comfort and a sense of security and safety to the secret admirer on like an ego level, in terms of whatever they've built for themselves, it would be safe for them. It would be preserved and protected. If they entered into a romance with you and the romance dissolved eventually, like a partnership fell apart, there's a sense that you wouldn't take advantage of them. You wouldn't kind of try to get everything that you could. There's also a sense that within the idea of a romantic partnership, that you're self-sustaining or self-sufficient enough that you wouldn't just see this person as like a bank account or a means to an end. And that might, again, reflect kind of the history or the track record that they have, or an experience that they had with someone previously that kind of left a bit of wounding, where matters of the heart are now having to be approached from like that logical perspective. Practically, like, does this make sense? Are my best interests preserved before I just kind of give my heart to someone? And they're seeing you as kind of the complete opposite, it feels like, of all the different types of people that they've dated before, that they've been in relationships with before. You're like self-made, or you're very sovereign, very kind of like rooted in whatever it is that abundance means for you, or success means for you, or prosperity means for you. You actively create that for yourself. You're not just someone who looks at other people opportunistically. It feels like they're very attracted to the fact that you demonstrate or believe in, or kind of that living example of collaboration versus competition. So it feels like it draws this person to you. It helps them to kind of listen to or honor their feelings, because there's something within kind of their sense of safety, their sense of self, that indicates that like they, as a well-rounded person, you're a trustworthy individual to have access or greater access to that. And we also have Akalanda, the goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. So the secret admirer is very drawn to the fact that you wear your wounds with pride. You are not ashamed of the scars that you have incurred through your life experience, something that may have shaped your reality very profoundly, that could influence the nature of your work, something that you are working toward, a goal, a project, maybe to help inform others, heal others, educate others, something that has happened in your life that has kind of course corrected you in a different direction, that has given you incentive and motive maybe to heal, or needing to kind of pick up the pieces of your reality and your existence, whatever it is that you're focused on or that you're sort of devoted to, rather than like hiding these things away, that you carry them in a way that is not filled with shame. It inspires this secret admirer to kind of rethink the nature of maybe a rocky road that they have had to walk in their life to come to this present version of themselves. There's a sense that aspects of them that they've had to hide away from other people, or even that sense of being like used or betrayed by individuals in their past, kind of just looked at as a source of like material resources, or someone that could open doors of opportunity for other people through their influence, who they are, their notoriety, their finances, things of that nature, that had kind of left a bad taste in their mouth, had left a lot of wounds as far as like trust issues are concerned. There's a sense of almost like that there would be an opportunity for healing and having that understood. Like you'd be the kind of person that might understand where they're coming from and not judge them based on kind of taking an overly logical view to the idea of romance, but that if you were to learn this backstory, you might be able to resonate with certain things that they've been through, or you would provide them with a degree of respect rather than sort of chastising them, or making them feel bad about kind of just not getting over things, or having developed trust issues. That there's a sense of you would have compassion because you could maybe empathize with where they were coming from, or you're the type of person that wouldn't judge people based on their past. You wouldn't judge people based on what they've been through. Maybe this person has had to like pick themselves up out of a rock bottom energy, and they may have experienced people that kind of judge them based on that even, and so it's a sense of, again, like a very self-protective energy that this secret admirer has. They may have had to kind of cordon off their heart, or they're holding on to a lot of woundedness within, and there's a sense of almost they may have poured themselves into trying to build something materially as a way to kind of offset the wounds that they have emotionally. But with you, there's almost a sense that they could still work towards whatever that solid ground is that they've had to create for themselves, kind of pivoting up out of a rock bottom energy. You'd understand their motives behind that, but then there'd also be an opportunity to kind of grow and expand and evolve emotionally speaking by addressing a lot of that kind of residual aftershock of sort of like what had happened to them emotionally, what had happened to them in their life that had caused the need to kind of rebuild or pick up the pieces, what had been lost and kind of what they were left with, and what it is that they've been able to kind of do with that, or they've been motivated, or that they're trying to kind of create or develop from that. There's a sense that the two of you could almost really help one another with that. You could understand where they're coming from, your words of wisdom, maybe even things that you've spoken about. It's helped this person to come to a greater place of self-acceptance or seeing themselves and their experiences from a different perspective. You may be healing this person without even knowing it, based on the way that you you own broken aspects of yourself. You heal and fix what you can, and you accept a certain degree of like, these things are broken and they may never heal. There's no way to put those pieces back together again. It's just part of who I am. And it feels like that in and of itself too might be sort of refreshing for this individual. It's helping them kind of relax or ease into more of the present state of themselves rather than pushing away that concept of brokenness or working to kind of overcompensate for that emotional brokenness, perhaps on a material level. There's almost a sense that this secret admirer is drawn and attracted to the fact that you show them a different way of kind of holding space for all of that. The brokenness and the wholeness that remains, and kind of the level of completeness that is created on like an ongoing basis. And we also have Fatima, the mother of the Imams. Love is my lineage, my gratitude, and gratitude is my religion. So it feels like the secret admirer sees you as somebody who, you know your own heart, you know your own mind, you know your own will. You're not going to be swayed by other people's judgment of how you're living your life, where your priorities are at this point. It kind of ties back into the idea of wearing your scars with pride. You're very unapologetic, sort of like the life you've chosen to build for yourself at this point. It didn't come easy. It wasn't handed to you. And so you're not going to crumble to other people's sort of opinions of whatever it is you're doing, what you should be doing differently, where your focus should be, where your focus is not. You know, all of that feels to be something that the secret admirer sees you as somebody that you march to the beat of your own drum because you've had to take the time to sort of reinvent yourself. You've had to take the time to discover who you are, or you've chosen to give yourself that gift of really looking within and identifying maybe patterns in your life that were limiting and breaking free of those. You've come out of your challenges stronger than the version of you that sort of went into those challenging situations. You're somebody that operates at a very high frequency, a very high plane of reality, because you've had to kind of walk through that darkness and turn on the light within yourself, which it feels like is very attractive to this secret admirer who may be in the process of almost trying to reinvent themselves, trying to, create some kind of resurrection for themselves out of a period of loss or turmoil, things that have happened that have kind of reshaped the course and trajectory of their life as a whole. They're seeing you as somebody that could be very sort of beneficial for them in terms of like your influence, the experience of you, or even just being in a romantic relationship with you. You'd understand where they're coming from. You maybe been through a lot of the same things, or could hold space for this person in a way that others could not, while they're processing everything that has happened and kind of developing or fine-tuning sort of who they want to be moving forward. So let's get some message cards from their higher self and see what does your secret admirer want to tell you right now. Okay, and they say, you're the first thing I think about when I open my eyes. So it feels like this person is not only just like admiring you from afar, they're wanting to create some sort of intimacy and closeness. They're definitely envisioning more than just kind of like a practical relationship or a business relationship or something in like a material sense. There's almost the energy here of, I want to be intimate with you. I want to be vulnerable with you. I want you to be the person that sort of shelters me in the good times and the bad. I want to be there to shelter you in the good times and the bad. I want you to be the person that I share my life with, or the life that I am designing for myself. It feels that it would intersect very beautifully with what you are carving out in terms of a path forward for yourself in life. We also have I'm done pretending. So it feels like this secret admirer may be getting ready to ask you out, confess feelings, broach the subject of something more than whatever the dynamic is currently between the two of you. Feels like they have had feelings for you for a while, but the logical mind has again kind of needed to sort of vet out the situation or observe you in a material sense before they would allow their heart to kind of openly express what it holds inside. But you've passed all their tests. You've checked off all those boxes. There's a sense of they get nothing but green lights within themselves when they think about this, when they observe you, when they've kind of sought maybe advice from friends or family about the situation, or even kind of confirmations from spirit guides, from their ancestors, from their angels. Sort of like everything points them in the direction of it would be in their best interest to explore a connection with you further. And we also have here the best thing that has happened to me. So the secret admirer is very grateful for the opportunity to have crossed paths with you or to encounter you, because it feels like you sparked something within their heart that might have been shut off for quite some time. You've encouraged this person to sort of envision a different sort of life for themselves. If they had been very kind of self-focused and like, I'm just going to build towards stability, I'm going to pick up the pieces of my life, or I'm just going to kind of focus on money and success because that won't disappoint me, whereas interpersonal relationships have systematically disappointed me. There's a sense of you've revived the romantic within them. You've revived an emotional component within them, that they feel more balanced and more whole in your presence when they're viewing you, when they're observing you, when they're admiring you. And the idea of entering into a romance with you, it's a sense that you represent in a lot of ways the complete package, or what they've been wanting and needing in their life out of a romantic partner. And they also say, I'm so in love with you. You are so perfect to me. So again, you are their dream person. They find you both physically attractive, emotionally engaging, intellectually stimulating. For practical reasons, you make sense. Your life makes sense. Who you are as a person, your goals, your focus, your beliefs, your values, all of that aligns, or they find ways that it can fit in very nicely with what they have going on in their life. So it feels like this secret admirer will not just remain a secret for much longer or forever. This is somebody who, because of that, all that logical energy, it's almost like when they set their mind to something, they stop at nothing in order to sort of see that through to a place of completion. So it feels like they're gearing up to sort of present something or open those doors to the exploration of more possibilities between you. So let's get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got L, A, G, G, U, H, X, Y, R, U, H, W, F, E, E, S, and P. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers, if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.